Although,
Um,
if you had lit that bonfire, it would have been better.
it actually doesn't take you back there, because I have done that before. It takes you back to this one.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
sucks.
Um, but anyway, and then also if we look at the description for Priscilla's dagger, came from the sale of Priscilla, the dragon crossbreed in the painted world. Um, so that's pretty much proof that she's a crossbreed of a dragon and apparently a divine being since she has a soul. But like you said, whether or not she was created by Seath or what is sort of left to interpretation. I mean, we know
Right.
that's
One of the earlier theories was that Seath bedded or raped either Gwyn's wife or daughter Guinevere. That doesn't really make sense because then, like, why would he still be around? And like, why wouldn't Gwyn just punish him in any way?
well, and also that theory was based on when we see Guinevere later, and we'll get into why that's not a good thing to base your theory on.
Right. But so that was sort of one of the earlier ideas. Or if, she may have just been a god normally that Seath experimented on. But again, like, it talks about child a lot, so like it's pretty heavily implied that she was born that way.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily, I don't know, like just changed after being born a normal god.
So here's the thing that we were talking about, where if you push that lever one more time, the platform rotates down one more level. And here you can find a statue of Gwyn.
The Lord of Cinder.
Indeed. Although at this time we still know him as the Lord of Sunlight. And we can also find the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn. And this is Gwyn's tomb. This is where Gwyn has been... this is where his grave supposedly is. And so this is his statue. And if we look at the description for the Ring of the Sun's Firstborn... we learned that the Gwyn's firstborn was a god of war, but his foolishness led to the loss of the annals and rescinding of his deific status. So this gives us further backstory about Gwyn's family, and we learned that he had a firstborn son that was disowned. And
there were, for a long time, the theory was that the Knight Solaire was the firstborn.
Yeah.
Because he makes a lot of references to the sun, and the sun being a glorious father and things like
Yeah,
that.
he wants to find his own light.
Right. In developer interviews, they basically admitted that the blacksmith in Undead Parish was originally meant to be Gwyn's firstborn.
Yeah, they said that Andre was supposed to be.
And which leads to some of his dialogue seems like it would mean that, but they kind of dropped that. So it's really just left completely open.
Yeah, and
there's no like right or wrong answer really.
There are other indications that it might be Solaire. The descriptions regarding the son's firstborn keep pointing out that his divine status was taken away and he was left sort of mortal. And then Solaire's actual items mention that 2 or 3 times, saying that his gear, there's nothing special or divine about it. It just comes from him being, a really strong human. So there are some indications there. And a developer interview also stated that Priscilla, whom we just killed, was originally intended to have a much larger role, and that they at one point considered her to be a sort of heroine character, like the Emerald Herald in Dark Souls 2 and the I even forget her name in Demon Souls.
But that was not to be.
Yeah, that one of their earliest concepts was that Priscilla would be the sort of companion that you would run into over and over again.
So as you saw, we went up that staircase. The door that Deprava just cavalierly ran by is locked.
Yes.
The main one, so you can't use that. What is open is the side path. Those
Yes.
giants with shields, you're more than welcome to fight if you want. It's up to you. They actually give really good soul count. And then these little demons are, be careful because they can sort of jump from afar and you don't want to get hit by them. And I think they do lightning damage? No?
They do lightning damage.
They do lightning damage.
Because they are divine guardians. And lightning in this game is associated with the divine. Now we're coming up on, and then here's where we started, up there. And then we crossed around here. We're coming up on an area that I think is created just to be the biggest troll in video games.
It's a pretty big troll area.
It pretty much exists just to troll.
And to make you angry.
And to make you angry.
And to curse the gods.
Yeah. Because it's not necessarily unfair, but it's just kind of ridiculous.
So the difficult part here is we're going to have to walk across those little thin rafters again, whilst two knights wielding giant Dragon Slayer bows shoot giant Dragon Slayer arrows at you. You can block them, so you can run up with your shield up. That's okay, as you just saw.
Yeah.
You can also try to dodge roll them if you want. And then you get to here where you have to, again, skirt really tight spaces and try to get around.
Yeah, and, you know, this platform, you can't really fall off, but the next ramp that we take up, it has no railing on it, so if you get hit by one of the arrows, you will just be knocked off of it and die. And also, we're eventually going to get to where that knight right there is, and so we have to fight him on a tiny, narrow corridor.
Well, I have gotten by him just rolling through him and then going away. But yeah, you should fight him, and it sucks.
And then right here, if you get past a certain point, the one behind you will no longer attack you. But until then...
are you sure?
Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Now, if you go back across, down, and there's a item...
Go get it.
Are you kidding me?
Go get it.
Oh my god. Why am I doing this?
Because I told you to.
That's the reason.
It's probably a great magic barrier.
Now I'm gonna have to look up where Great Magic Barrier is.
It's right there.
Okay, thank God for the halberd. But anyway, those are the Silver Knights that we just fought. And the Silver Knights actually wield my favorite straight sword in the game. Actually, Silver Hero's not bad.
That's a really good sword. The Silver Knight straight sword.
It suffers a little bit by not having a stab attack, a thrust move. It's only slashes, swings, but it's the best looking straight sword in the game by far.
And it does good damage too.
Yeah, and it does pretty good damage.
And again, if you don't have a weapon that can two-shot those guys, it can be very difficult.
Yeah. So now we're in the interior of the palace, and
thankfully there is a bonfire right here.
Yes, along with our good buddy.
We were just talking about you.
We are.
And Solaire you can actually summon to fight the boss of this area. As he's reminding you that you can summon him.
Yeah, unlike in Dark Souls 2, in this game,
NPCs have personalities?
Well, also, but there are summons in this game that sort of carry over from fight to fight, but you are not required to summon them to continue their storyline. So if I don't summon Solaire for the upcoming boss fight, it's fine. I'll still encounter him later on. The important thing is that you talk to him here, and then talk to him at a later point, and then do something really counterintuitive right afterward. So now we're just going to explore this area. This is where all the Silver Knights are. The Silver Knights come in either the spear or sword variety. The Silver Knight sword is great, but not particularly noteworthy. The spear actually has the divine element attached to it, which divine weapons can permanently kill skeletons that are otherwise under the control of a necromancer, which is useful in the catacombs. and for the Nito fight. So a lot of players, instead of making a divine weapon for that fight, will just farm the Silver Knights here until they get a... oh my god. Why? What am I doing?
And the Silver Knights were, like the Black Knights, just part of Gwyn's retinue, but the Silver Knights didn't go down and get burned up.
Yeah, there's some speculation that the Silver Knights here are like phantoms, that they're not actually real. But
and we'll touch upon that in a little bit.
Yeah. So there's a secret right here. Come on.
Again, it looks like it's a secret.
Well, where is the secret?
Just hit it.
Oh, God, I'm in Dark Souls 2 mode where you touch it, where you have to press the button on it. But yeah.
Right.
So we are in the middle of Gwyn's palace. This is the palace of the gods, and yet in here there are a few very suspicious items. By the way, this is a mimic. You can tell because the chain is leading forward, whereas these are not mimics because the chain is looped back around.
And you know what to do with mimics.
Yep.
You kill them.
And it takes so long for them to stand up that they're usually not a big deal. And there's an occult club. Other items indicate that there was a conspiracy in Anor Londo against the gods, and this is proof of it, that there is an occult weapon. Are you kidding me? I'm getting invaded. That there's
Just get the other items before.
Yeah, anyway, the other items in this area are Havel's armor. And some people have said that this implicates Havel as being part of the conspiracy, and that's why he was sent away or killed. That he was part of the conspiracy against the gods. But it shows how deep the conspiracy went, that there was a hidden room full of the conspirators' gear right in the midst of Gwyn's own palace. Alright, oh, hi there, bro. Oh, God. I don't even... Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna... That's gonna be rough.
No. This is troll build. Yeah, I'm just gonna heal. I don't care. I don't need honor.
How dare you?
There we go. See?
Well, you cheated.
I don't care.
I mean, he honorably invaded you.
Yeah, if you invade somebody, there is no deal. Why would I fight you in some sort of weird honor duel if you're an invader?
Well, you just wait for that karma.
Just suck it up. This is the shortcut, so you can't open it from this side. I'm actually going to go back and spend some of my souls.
Yep. So as we were saying, there was this probably conspiracy against the gods. Again, we mentioned Velka not being on good terms with Gwyn, but it's not. It never really gets super clear when and where and who was involved and in what may have been. But it's just fun things to think about.
Alright, if he drops his sword... If he drops his sword, we're switching to it right now.
Well, it's a big if.
Also, you'll notice that the Mimic was guarding the Occult Club, so obviously that was the most dangerous item. And over here... Oh, look, it's another Mimic.
They're everywhere.
They are right here. And the Mimics actually have a very small chance of dropping a piece of headgear that looks like their head, so that you can have like a Mimic chest for your head. This is also a Mimic. And it acts the same way as the Gold Serpent Ring and increases your item discovery.
And it looks funny.
Yeah, and it looks pretty hilarious. And so, is there any... Oh, nothing right here.
It's just a balcony.
And then in here is one of these goddamn... Oh no, this is the way out. There's no room.
And again, this is a room of
We'll get to that room.
And yet, their rooms were very actual human size.
Yeah.
So that's another interesting little thing to notice.
Yep. There you are down there. Another soul of a hero.
And to get a Titanite demon sitting right there is kind of, how did he get there?
Yep, and then here are some
Dragon
heads of dragons.
As we know, Gwyn and his knights were famous for defeating the dragons.
Yep, so this is sort of a trophy room.
Although those do look sort of like lesser drakes and things like
yeah,
that.
I know. So, what does that tell you?
That they killed some lesser drakes.
Yep. So yeah, this is sort of a living quarters where everything's normal sized.
Yeah, and you'll see paint, and there's a painting of a buxom lady who looks like the statue we saw. In the cathedral with the painted world. It's a big boobed statue.
It's really the most defining feature.
She's got some tig old bitties. And then just other people that look like nobility and things like that.
Yeah, God, that picture looks really out of place. What's
There
this
she
Oh
is.
no, I missed the message. I'm sure the message said gorgeous view or treasure ahead or something.
Probably.
People have gotten very
Now watch out up here, because there's several knights, and they'll, again, if they're away from you, they will shoot you with arrows.
yeah, and if you stay to the edge on this one, then this one over here will not notice you at first.
Again, you'll see the roof tiling there looks a little shoddy, so... Again, the theme here is that the closer you look at Anor Londo, the less pristine and godlike it seems.
Yeah.
As if maybe gods haven't been living here for some time.
Yeah, that there's a bit of
Decay.
Yeah.
Basically, it really just looks like roof tiles, but still, you get what we were saying thematically.
And then here's our good buddy.
The Onion Knight.
And I guess I'm going to try to complete his quest. I don't think I've ever finished it.
It's really hard. That part in Izalith is ridiculous. But if you complete it, you get to meet his daughter.
Yep. And you get one of the 3 guaranteed Titanite slabs in the game. So yeah, he's wanting some help.
So basically, you just need to clear the next room, and then that completes this part.
And then that completes this part of his quest. And once you do it and talk to him again, he will move to...
I think you get a ring for this, too, from...
Yeah, and he moves to Firelink, I believe. And, you know, he's really whining when there's, like, 3 dudes in here.
Well, but look at him. He's not equipped to handle that kind of pressure.
He's got big old fat armor.
But his weapon is an onion.
Do we see what his weapon is? I guess we do.
It's not.
Oh, it's the sword!
Hurrah!
Wow, I can't believe it. I fought for hours once to get that sword.
Well, that's the theme of Dark Souls.
Indeed. All right.
Now these paintings are all actually pretty indicative of important things in the game.
Where are you?
We saw a painting of like a giant guard, as we saw outside the cathedral, and that's because it's mentioned how Gwyn made a pact with the giants to guard his thing.
Yep. So here's the cathedral.
Like the main cathedral building we're in.
Here it is as well. And again, look, the wallpaper is rotting away.
Right. So again, it's people probably haven't lived here for quite a while.
And there's Demon Titanite. So anyway, so yeah, this is the Silver Knight Straight Sword.
And that is something.
Let's see, what is this? This looks like more part of the keep. But again, this painting is even falling into disrepair.
Yeah. You gotta go talk to Onion Knight again.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you swing your new toy.
I know, right? If it had a thrust attack, it would just be the best. Anyway.
Well, that's why you got to get the Baldur side sword.
Yeah.
It only takes 5 hours to farm.
I'll get right on that. I believe that's how long it did take me to farm it.
I don't know if I spent 5 hours. It was definitely like about 2, I think, that I spent on it.
Sure did, Onion Bro.
He's actually a Knight of Katarina, but...
Yeah.
And again, Katarina's another country. You know, what we've seen of Dark Souls is not the world. It is sort of the Mount Olympus of the world. So there are other countries and places. Which would have been nice to explore in Dark Souls 2, but you know what?
Yeah, instead of what we did explore. Anyway, so now we go back around and go down that other stairwell on the roof that I skipped.
The stairwell. Oh, there's no H there.
Yeah. So yeah, all this looks far less impressive up close than it did when we saw it from afar. Which just goes to show that all may not be well.
And not everything may be as it seems.
Yeah. So yeah, here is the trophy room where there's a whole bunch of really look like rat drakes heads.
So it just goes to show that dragons just ain't as impressive as they once were.
Ooh.
As we mentioned in the description of the axe from the Gaping Dragon, there was probably a steady de-evolution of dragonness through time. And that guy's guarding his trove.
Yep. And this is...
I miss parries and ripostes so
This
much.
is where you get the Silver Knight gear. The actual Silver Knights will only drop the shield and whichever weapon they happen to be wielding. So this opens up a shortcut back to the bottom, so now I don't have to go through that whole winding stairwell. And
there's also one of those Titanite demons.
Yeah, and then there's a Titanite demon here.
And you fight him the same way you fought the others. Just roll and swing. Or just move to the side.
Yeah, and then if you get hit, just nope it out. Just lame it out.
You have no honor.
I sure as hell don't.
You have no honor. That Titanite demon doesn't have any Estus.
He don't, and that's his mistake. It is possible to stagger these guys, but their poise is pretty high. Oh, and there we go. And there you go. And like all Titanite demons, he drops Demon Titanite.
Which is useful.
Which is used to upgrade boss soul weapons. So now we're in the main chamber of the palace. And down below we see more of the giant guards. These actually are different than the ones outside. These are sort of the royal guards. And they will cast Wrath of the Gods, which is an AoE spell that just wrecks your face. I'm just going to Homeward Bone. So we're going to pick this up next time. So I'm just going to go ahead and Homeward Bone. Since we already opened up the shortcuts, it's an easy route to get right back there. And maybe next time I'll show you the secret shortcut. And so that's all for today.
Yep, and I'm gonna go let my dog pee. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, see ya.